I grew up in Colorado, went to Catholic school, elementary school, middle school, Jesuit high school, and I think by the time that I was 18, ready to be out of the house, I had really bought into more of what the world says life is supposed to be, rather than maybe what the church or what our faith tells us that life is supposed to be. So by the time that I went to Los Angeles to pursue film, I was 18, I very quickly left my faith behind and really pursued sort of this worldly view of things. You know, going from college to into the industry, into the industry in Hollywood, just doing everything that I thought meant something. So it was parties, it was networking, it was doing drugs, it was going out to clubs and just trying to be part of something that I thought was the most important thing, trying to be part of something bigger than maybe the view that I had of the church, which was sort of like, it's a little old-fashioned, it's not for me. You know, I was making films and I was doing everything that I thought I wanted to be doing. At the end of the day, it was me coming to a point where I had done all the things that I thought would make me happy and make me fulfilled.
My name is Malcolm, but most people call me Mally, which I've been called that since I was a young kid by my mum. First Christmas in Paris, I do remember it and I don't remember it. I don't remember it because I drank a lot. And that's what Christmas was for me. Christmas was the time to, okay, we're going to visit so many houses. Everywhere I go, there's going to be an aperitif waiting for me. It was like this opportunity to just do what I want, when I wanted. My alcoholism spiraled out of control. I was trying to escape the fact that my marriage was breaking down, that my daughter had been diagnosed with autism, that I was in this land where I didn't know anybody. I didn't know the language. I left a very kind of high-profile rock star job in London where I was the manager of this amazing pub and had celebrities around me, and I was doing drugs and drinking regularly, and I had all the money I needed, but inside I was dying.
Soy originario de un pueblo llamado Jicotenca, en el estado de Tamaulipas, al norte de México. A la edad de 18 años más o menos me mudé a la Ciudad de México porque quería ser actor, quería ser cantante, así es que empecé cantando en un grupo que se llamaba Cairo por 3 años y medio, viajando por toda Latinoamérica. Después empecé a grabar telenovelas.
En México, si eres actor y quieres vivir de tu carrera, no tienes muchas opciones como aquí en Estados Unidos. Allá haces telenovelas o telenovelas, ¿no?
Después me mudé a Miami, la capital de Latinoamérica. Ahí estuve viviendo casi 2 años, grabé un disco como solista. Después me mudo a Los Ángeles.
When that prison door shuts for the first time and you're in the cell, can you remember how you felt?
Of course. You know, and I was 17 at the time, and I was probably about 5'3", 115 pounds, and it was pretty scary. But then again, there was a lot of neighborhood guys there. I had a few confrontations and, you know, a couple of altercations, but, you know, it was really just a matter of, okay, do I want to now get in jail, start getting high, doing that whole thing, or am I just going to, you know, focus, start going to church, and, you know, get out of here and never look back.
And I was sitting there saying, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled. This isn't going the way that I had planned it to. And from that was maybe the beginning of me kind of looking back at my faith and just start to be curious about maybe there was something more that I was missing in that.
I saw other people be full of the spirit of Christmas, and then after Christmas it changes. It becomes almost like Valentine's Day. You be nice to people at Christmas because it's the thing to do. You send flowers or something to your wife on Valentine's because it's the thing to do. But when Christmas passes, people go back to the way they were, or I'll go back to the way I am. Something was missing. The connection was missing.
Después me mudo a Los Ángeles. En Los Ángeles hago mi primera película en inglés. Y después de esa película fue donde empecé a sentir el vacío en mi corazón, en mi alma. Todas las cosas que había logrado no me llenaban, estaba muy insatisfecho, no era feliz, no tenía paz, no tenía serenidad, no tenía alegría en mi corazón y estaba bastante confundido porque no sabía qué era lo que me faltaba.
When Full of Grace came around, it came at a very difficult time. I was in between films, not quite sure what the next step was, and Full of Grace really allowed me to speak out my frustrations with my own faith journey. They allowed me to speak my doubts into characters that I needed to hear from. I needed to hear from these scriptural characters that we talk about so much. We think we know because we've heard the Bible story so many times. We think we understand them, but the truth is I didn't know who they were, and I didn't understand the experiences that they had because they didn't reflect my experience. And so for me, Full of Grace was as much me trying to work out these sort of faith issues in my own life. We're asked to live a truthful life, and what does that mean for each of us? You know, how am I going to live a life of truth? How am I going to live a life that reflects this truth that I've been given? It's changed everything, and I believe it's because I was finally putting these talents and this energy into something that was truthful, into something that was real, and into something that does have something to say. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of being able to now look at that. There's certainly a level of obedience that needed to happen throughout the process. And now looking back at the film, I can honestly say it's the first time in my entire life that I've ever been obedient to what God's called me to do and not to my own sort of selfish ambitions.
One day I woke up and I was just paralyzed. I felt physically ill, I felt mentally ill, my kids were distraught, wondering what's happening to our father. My 6-year-old son said to me, he said, "Please, stop drinking, I don't want you to die." God basically said to me, "You've had your chances. Next time, who knows what's going to happen. You need to straighten up now." So I did. I got sober. My son occasionally says to me in his little French that, "I'm very proud of you, Papa, because you don't drink anymore." Because he remembers. He remembers the pain that he felt and the pain he saw in me because I was crippled by this addiction. This Christmas with my kids is focused on celebrating what we have. You have food, and you have friends, and you have family, and you have people who love you. And God has given that to us. The birth of Jesus Christ, who still walks among us and is present in everything we do. You know, he was born and he died for us to redeem us and to show us how to live. It's a time of doing simple acts of kindness, and that if we all do simple acts of kindness, we can change the world. And I think we can change the world. You know, I call it guerrilla kindness. It's that kindness you get in and you do that nobody will ever know except that other person. Because I'm doing it for God. Whether it's helping someone with a suitcase, or holding a door open for someone, or talking to somebody who's been through an incredible tragedy. Christmas is a time to embrace each other, but to continue that throughout the year, to continue that every minute.
Y ahí fue donde me di cuenta que las razones por las cuales yo quería ser actor cuando tenía 18 años eran razones bastante superficiales, frívolas. Era el dinero, la fama, los placeres, el éxito, porque toda mi vida había pensado que si no eras una persona de éxito, entonces eres un fracasado, eres un perdedor. Entonces yo quería tener éxito. Comprometí mis principios, los valores que me enseñaron en mi casa se fueron rompiendo poco a poco, hasta que llegó un momento donde perdí la perspectiva de qué era lo bueno y qué era lo malo. Todo era relativo. Ahí fue donde también me di cuenta que los latinos, desde los años 40 hasta la fecha, hemos sido estereotipados de una manera muy negativa en el cine y en la televisión. Siempre el bandido, el criminal, etc. Y si bien te va el Don Juan Latin Lover, en otras palabras, el mujeriego mentiroso. Y ese era el estereotipo que yo venía alimentando. Y ahí fue donde viene este milagro en mi vida. Yo siento realmente que no hay nada más poderoso que las oraciones de una madre. Mi madre le dijo a mi padre un día: nuestro hijo está perdido. Ya no nos escucha, no nos hace caso. Las palabras que le digo no tocan su corazón. Pero si mis palabras no tocan su corazón, mis oraciones van a tocar su corazón. Y ahí fue donde empezó a rezar no sé cuántos cientos o miles de rosarios. Cuando me di cuenta lo que había hecho con mi vida, no solamente el corazón se me partió cuando me di cuenta que había ofendido a mi familia, que había ofendido a muchas personas con los trabajos que hacía, con el estilo de vida que llevaba. Lo que me rompió el corazón fue cuando me di cuenta que ofendí a Dios.
Si el llamado es la santidad, el ser puros de corazón, la Biblia nos dice, ¿no? Bienaventurados los que tengan el corazón puro, porque ellos verán a Dios. Bueno, entonces, ¿cómo voy a lograr esa pureza a la cual todos somos llamados? Y ahí fue, como católico, descubrí que, bueno, en los sacramentos, asistiendo a misa todos los días, rezando el rosario, yéndome a confesar, voy una vez por semana, tengo un director espiritual. Entonces, se convirtió en eso, en mi prioridad. Recuerdo que en ese momento yo me quería ir incluso de sacerdote, ¿no? Dije, bueno, voy a vender todo. En ese momento vendí todo lo que tenía, renuncié a todas las ofertas que me estaban llegando, dije, me voy a ir a la jungla, allá al Amazonas, a Brasil, 2 años, a discernir, a ver qué quiere Dios de mí, hacer un trabajo de misionero, ayudar a los pobres, y me quedó muy claro, ¿no? Entonces fui a ver al padre Juan Rivas y le platiqué de mi plan. Me dice, no, momento, ¿a dónde vas? Pues a la jungla, ya a Brasil, al Amazonas. Eduardo, Hollywood es una jungla más grande, me dice. Si tú realmente pones una lista de lugares donde tú fueras a tener una conversión, créeme que Hollywood hubiera sido el último. Sin embargo, ahí fue, por alguna razón, por algo. Hollywood doesn't belong to the studios. Hollywood belongs to God. We need to take it back. En ese momento, pues, tenía que abrir una productora de cine, la cual abrimos y le pusimos Metanoia Films. Metanoia es una palabra en griego que significa conversión. Crear un oasis en Hollywood donde personas que estén en el mismo canal nos juntemos y produzcamos películas que eleven la dignidad del ser humano en las historias que escojamos producir, películas que tengan el potencial de prender una veladora en el corazón de las personas.
Nos dio la vida que bendiga esta comida. ¡Ey, ey, ey! Juanita, ven, trae un vaso de agua, por favor.
Según el libro del Apocalipsis, una gran señal apareció en el cielo. Una mujer vestida de sol, con la luna bajo sus pies y una corona de 12 estrellas sobre su cabeza. Dios nos da una señal en el cielo y la adorna con los astros luminosos para que nuestra mirada se eleve, se levante a las alturas, hacia esa mujer luminosa que va a dar a luz a aquel que es la luz del mundo, su Hijo Jesucristo. Nadie conoce a un hijo mejor que su madre. Por eso, entre más cerca estemos de María, más cerca estamos de su Hijo Jesucristo. Y como decía nuestro querido Santo Padre Juan Pablo II, totus tuos, María, todo tuyo, María. Viva Cristo Rey y viva la Virgen de Guadalupe.
From that prison experience, you were very lucky. You met this Catholic priest who guided you. Tell me about what was going through your mind, because for a lot of people, going to prison becomes the start of the rest of their lives and is not pretty. How did you manage, do you think, to make that break, to get out of that culture?
Well, I had to make the choice personally, and then I had to focus on my faith. And my faith has really allowed me to overcome a lot of things, and hard work. You know, nothing comes easy, especially when you've got, you know, your back against the wall and you've got a lot going against you. But I wanted to prove to people through my actions, not my words, that I was going to change and that I was going to make a positive impact on the community that I come from. And that's why I do so much youth work, and, you know, with our foundation and with inner city kids and partnering with Taco Bell and the Graduate to Go program. You know, I could not forget about where I came from and find myself in this position without helping and giving back.
I get a sense you're, you know, I would imagine you can be pretty uncompromising.
In my beliefs, certainly, and in my position when it comes to certain things, in my creativity, yes. But, you know, you do me a favor, I'll do you a favor. I don't like asking for favors, I like giving favors. But, yeah, listen, you got to do whatever you got to do to get the job done.
Do the streets ever leave you?
No, absolutely not. You don't want them to anyway. You have to be able to have that, to tap back into that if need be. Especially now, being a father of 4 kids, 2 beautiful daughters.
Well, this is a fascinating way that your life's evolved, is that you're now in this very protective position. You know, you have these 2 sons, there's two girls. And also you have your faith. I mean, I read that you go to Catholic Mass every day, is that right?
Yeah, if I don't go to Mass necessarily every day, but I definitely go to the church every day. That's how I start my day. I like to get in there for about 15 to 20 minutes to say my prayers.
And what does it bring you?
A very clear focus on what's important, expressing my gratitude for all the blessings that have been bestowed upon me, and a reminder every day of what I need to do, what I need to focus on, and what I need to stay away from.
When you pray, what do you pray for?
I pray to be a good servant to God, a father, a husband, a son, a friend, a brother and uncle, a good neighbor, a good leader to those that look up to me, and a good follower to those that are serving God and doing the right thing, and people that I can look up to and, you know, try to emulate.